Let me tell you a little bit about my story with coaching. I used to work in IKEA, and after my mom and dad passed away 1 year apart, I had a lot of anxiety. I've had so much grief to handle. I was talked to by my manager in IKEA. Her name is Maria. She was amazing, and she told me that I understand you're trying to grieve and all of that. And honestly, I was kind of talking about it to everyone, and I couldn't stop myself because I didn't know how to handle it. So she introduced me to my life coach, who I still work with, and I'm so happy. Like, she's the one right now giving me directions, and it's important to have like a coach as well. I feel like it's so important and so overlooked, so underrated. But her name is Galina, and I want to thank Galina. If she's watching this video, I want to thank you so much for being in my life. She digs deep into my soul. So she was the one to open my eyes to the world of coaching. And the word itself, coaching, it feels like a buzzword. It's actually this very beautiful process where you help another human being discover what they're thinking about. You help them discover where they're going next, and you help them strategize. In case of Galina, she's the queen of strategy. This is how I got started with coaching. I specifically coach interior designers, and I've coached people all around the place. Like 400 plus hours of coaching is right now the amount of hours I've done, and I'm loving every minute of it. Hello designers, welcome back to Aseel by Sketchbook. I mentored a lot of designers, and it's a really fun experience. Over 400 hours means that I've been asked a lot of different questions by really incredible designers, and I wanted to come here and share those answers with you because I don't know who is looking for them, but you probably will find a thing or two in this video that you might resonate with as an interior designer. Let's jump into it, shall we? So first of all, the big elephant in the room, the question that I've been asked the most is about imposter syndrome. I mean, not a lot of people name it what it is. They don't say I have imposter syndrome, but they describe it. So imposter syndrome is when you are dealing with a client. This applies to all different aspects of life, but usually when you're an interior designer, you're speaking to a client and you feel incredibly inexperienced, and you feel like if you're gonna take this project, you're gonna, excuse my French, but the bed. And this is honestly, it's the most normal feeling. The more experienced you are and the more you learn, the more you understand that what you know is very small compared to what there is out there to learn. This is the number one thing that I've seen in the people that I've mentored, that there's always a sense of imposter syndrome. And I have imposter syndrome as well sometimes. I feel like if I'm coming here on YouTube and I want to speak to you guys, I'm like, what qualifies you to do that? First of all, nobody knows everything. Like, literally, there's 0 people on this earth know everything there is to know, right? But you probably know a lot. You probably spent hours and hours learning. I would assume that you're watching this video and not, you know, setting on Netflix. No judgment if you watch Netflix, me too, I do that all the time. Having imposter syndrome making this video because, like, again, I would like to always be doing more. And this year I have stopped a little bit. I've just paused. I pressed paused on my career, my professional life, and it was fine, honestly. It was not the worst thing that I've done. However, the thing is about imposter syndrome, the only cure for it that I feel like really works, if you sit down and you will return back to the beginner mindset. So when you first started, how much did you know? And if you compare that person with this person, you will see like a huge gap, hopefully, between like the person who just started learning and the person you are today. So try to remember that in 10 years or so, you will still see, you know, this person that you are today with that gap, because we are always developing. This is so normal. It's normal that you don't know everything. It's very normal that you have not experienced every situation in the book there is. And it's normal to feel like projects can be daunting sometimes, but the only way to get out of it is to acknowledge it and to remember, even if you feel like a beginner today, that's a good thing. Embrace it with excitement, like you're beginning for the first time today. And I'm telling this to myself as much as I'm telling it to you. So I hope that my advice comes out as it's intended to be, like as something that is really coming from my heart to you. The second most asked about topic is always pricing. There's a lot of talk about money. There's a lot of negativity around it, and I understand. I'm saying that it's normal to have very weird feelings about receiving money in any kind of shape or form, or to price your services. I mean, in retrospect, when I go back and I look into my older projects, I kind of see them as less work than what was really put into them. Like, I poured literally my heart and soul and sweat and tears and literally blood into a lot of my projects, and that now that I look at them, they're just pictures, and that's what you see. So every time I price for my projects, and I'm assuming you too, and people that I talk to, they always remember the final picture rather than the process. There is always a problem with the pricing, because I don't know about your parents' generation, but for my parents' generation, it was kind of taboo to speak about money in general, to plug in what you do, like say, well, I want this much for my services. And the thing is, the only way to overcome that is, again, to acknowledge it. That there's a lot of identifying the problem and facing it, and, you know, talking about it, and being clear that it's fine to feel like that. It's okay for you to feel like you're scared to price, or to put a price, or oh my god, is it too high? Is it too low? I don't know. There's a lot of ways to know your price in the market, but I know a lot of people are undercharging. And if I was to speak about the biggest coaching moment that I've had, is when one of my mentees, is that how you say it? But she actually asked the client, or she quoted the client, a price that she saw as something that is just impossible, that they will never agree on. And guess what? The client agreed on that price, and that was a revolutionary moment for her, because it changed her brain chemistry. It's like, all right, so my services are worth that much, but you know, I can't see it. There is a way to like look into the market and see what people are charging, but you know, you have to understand that you provide something unique. Every person that I know, they have a very specific magical power in one of the things that they do. You know, you can be incredible in styling, you can be incredible in detailing, you can be incredible in the site phase, or in the after stage. Why are you special in the market? What's your unique selling point? That's the technical term for it. And believe me, a lot of people undercharge. Like everybody that I ask, like, how much do you charge? And they answer honestly, it's always a price that feels like way too low for what they provide as a value for the client. So, you know, next time you quote a project, honestly, just, you know, understand that your services are very, very valuable. Okay, the third topic is always marketing. And again, nobody comes and say, I need help in marketing. They come and say, we don't have enough clients, we don't have enough money, and we feel like there's no way to make a living being an interior designer, especially if you're freelancing. And this is heartbreaking to hear, but also I wonder why it's not a part of the curriculum when we're studying. Like, marketing is so important. You could be the best designer, and if you don't know how to market, you will never get your voice across to people. So if you don't know about like the basic marketing skills, it's like your business is has literally no voice. This is how important it is. And when we sit down and talk about the market strategy, a lot of people are even like baffled that, you know, we need to have a marketing strategy. And listen, I'm not saying this is easy. I'm not saying any of these points is easy to work on, but you have to know what to learn in order to learn it, right? So marketing is this one skill that will give you a voice. You'll give your business a voice. It will help you reach more people, which means you'll get more clients and more money. And that solves like the trifecta of, you know, being heard, being branded. There's also like the branding aspect of things. And I've started reading this book that I want to go much more in depth in, and maybe later I'll make a video on it. But it's called The Branding in Interior Design, I think. Okay, I'll share it here, but it's such a good book if you want to look into branding. But marketing is different than branding, and I really, really advise you to read The One-Page Marketing Plan. I cannot recommend it enough. I talk about what to watch. I know that, okay? Even to people around me, I'm probably sick of it. You know, they're probably sick of me recommending it. If you want to buy it, link is in description. And I think it's such a good book. It's worth the hype. So the fourth most discussed topic is portfolio. Look, I've recently had to put my portfolio together back again, and to be honest with you, it's not easy. It's not easy. Putting together a portfolio is not easy because you have to know what to choose, and then there is like the files that are lost, and you know that you've done detailing for this project, so you are looking all over the place. If you don't have zero organizational system like me, okay, you're probably finding it really hard to actually files to begin with, and how are you gonna have a portfolio if you don't have your files? And it's this whole problem, and I understand. However, how about me and you, we agree on something. First of all, portfolios are like dating profiles for designers. Yeah, I'm saying that right, okay? So literally, if you want people to see you and accept you and want to work with you, you have to show your case work. So you have to show your best work, and you have to kind of describe what it is. And just like a dating profile where you're like finding like the best pictures, I'm not saying this is halal, okay? I'm just saying like it's just a metaphor, okay? Just like a dating profile, you want to find the best pictures. So find your favorite projects, and it's okay to have different portfolios for different job applications. I mean, if you interview for jobs, like sometimes they will be more focused onto technical details, so it's important to create a technical portfolio. And this might sound daunting, but it's like a lot less search if you think about it. So if you go and search .cad, you'll find all of your CAD files, and then maybe you can create your portfolio. But the most important thing is to have that portfolio, because the minute you have a prospect and you don't have a portfolio, that prospect is not going to know how you work in general. So a good structure for portfolio as well is to showcase how you work. So if you are freelancing, it's nice to have like a step-by-step. This is how my process is like, and that is called a portfolio. It could be just one project or two projects, but you show 1, 2, this is my entire process. Or if you're applying for a company, then it's important to show something from everything. Again, it's important to know what you're doing this for. And yeah, I know, listen, I know it's not easy, but I trust you. I have faith in you and me and everyone. So the 5th most discussed topic is about goal setting. And again, it's never discussed as, oh, I have trouble setting my goals. It's more like, I am lost. And so most people, when they're lost, they either get too overwhelmed, so they refuse to do anything. Some of them hire an interior design coach like myself, and it helps them, you know, get through with things and help them kind of like pick their brains and, you know, put everything out on paper. Some people brain dump. If you have been in any of these places, that's completely fine. We're humans. It's very normal for us to feel this way, to feel overwhelmed, to even pause sometimes. Again, no judgment here whatsoever. However, having goals or setting goals is like having a GPS. If you're lost on the road, what do you do? You open Google Maps. When you open Google Maps, you can actually navigate to where you're going. There might be twists, there might be turns. It's never a straight line unless like you're going to the next block, right? However, the twists and turns and all of that is the points you're gonna hit in your career. That's like the metaphor again. So it's important to kind of know the destination. So say, okay, I want to have like 4 clients in that area by this time of that year. So now you have a destination. So now, after you set the destination, you're gonna navigate through it. You're going to have to say, that's the first step, that's the second step. Maybe I need a social media campaign. Maybe I need to hire someone. Maybe I need to do this. Maybe I need to do more of that. So until you have a very clear vision of what is your end goal, it's gonna be very hard to, and not to feel overwhelmed, because there's way too many places to go, right? So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Honestly, I didn't know this metaphor was inside of my head until I said it out loud, so kind of proud of myself here. 6th most asked topic is always about mental health. There's so much anxiety in the field. Honestly, so much anxiety. I'm not laughing at the anxiety. I'm laughing because the thing is, I feel like we create solutions for things we've been through, and I have a lot of anxiety around all of these things. I'm not trying to return everything to myself, but it's important for me to share my own personal experience with you. Your mental health, if you don't have it, you don't have anything else. If you are burnt out, you're not gonna want to do anything. You're not gonna want to do let's just face it. So a lot of people either work themselves to death, or honestly, so they're like, okay, I'm gonna burn myself out because I feel like this motivation is never gonna arrive again if they feel motivated. Or they understand that the burnout will come if they work hard enough, so they stop working altogether. And both of the situation is a dangerous situation. So it's important to set time to kind of heal and let yourself, you know, breathe. Let yourself breathe. Find an outlet. And you know, for a very long time I've been watching videos on YouTube, and when they say find an outlet, I immediately go into like horseback riding and we swim or whatever. No, it's not like that. Everybody is different. It might be horseback riding to you, or it might be even drawing, it might be painting, it might be sketching. I don't know what it is, but to me, I discovered journaling. I discovered that I love journaling. I journal 3 pages, like in small letters, like a lot of words every single day. It takes me an hour to journal, but by the end of it, I feel like I have a clear mindset. I feel like I am ready to take on the load of work. It's a stream of thoughts with no filter. I just let it flow on paper. There it is. I'll show you just like the notebook. This is my place to vent. Nobody has to judge me. Nobody has to tell me anything. And by the end of it, I give myself a little bit of encouragement. I change the narrative most of the time. So I'm not going to tell you to go journal, but honestly, journal if you want to, because I never thought I would do this in my entire life. This was not something I'm interested in. But finding an outlet for your mental health to thrive and to know what you're dealing with on day-to-day basis is so important. I cannot emphasize it enough. There's a bunch of things, hobbies, crocheting. I know my sister-in-law does the crochet thing. It's so cool, and my mother-in-law. So whatever it is that helps you kind of distance yourself from your work and, you know, tap in your most inner thoughts is a good thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know, I was all over the place. It was daunting for me to film it in the beginning, but I'm glad I filmed. I've enjoyed this, seriously. I've enjoyed hanging out with you. It always feels like I'm hanging out with my friend when I'm like sitting down and talking to the camera, because I know that I have people who are the same tribe as me. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to check my coaching offers, there you go, I'm gonna plug it. If you want to see that and see how it works, then you can click on that link in the description. I hope you guys have a wonderful time of the year wherever you are in the world. Let me know what you think. I missed you so much. Thank you for being here. Bye.